Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we have an all new project pan update. So before we get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. The first product we're going to talk about is my Mercier blush, the bane of my existence this year. But I do feel like we've got much more of a dip in the product than we did initially. I still think this blush is gonna last forever. I don't think I'm gonna hit pan by the end of the year. I will take this out of my project and not roll it over into next year because I'm just not enjoying using it, so it's not really feeling fun. But I do want to see how I can do with a year. So unfortunately we don't have a ton of progress on this one, but there is a little bit of a dip. It's just, it doesn't come off on camera even when I take photos, so you can't even tell the little bit of progress I've made. Okay, let's talk about my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. So this is one that didn't even have pan when we started, and now it has pretty significant pan. I do use this one pretty much every time I use bronzer, and my thoughts might change when I look at the footage and compare it to last month's photos, but I feel like even though I used this a ton this month, I really didn't make a ton of progress with it. So I don't know, it's like I hit pan and then it just got really hard to use up the rest. So we'll see for sure when I do look at photos. However, I'm still pretty proud of the progress I'm making on this one. This is not one I think I'm going to be able to finish, but this is one that I do think is going to be showing a lot more wear before the end of the year. Okay, so I also have my MAC Fix Plus. This is one that I really love. It's just that I found some that I actually love more and prefer reaching for every day. So this one is definitely getting some use. We started here and we're officially down to here, which is pretty exciting. I don't think this is going to be hard to use at all. This is one I've been using especially lately with all of the holiday releases, and I've been testing out some new eyeshadow palettes, so I do tend to spray my shimmers a lot more when I'm using different palettes to see what makes the shimmers work best. So I've been trying that a little more too, which helps me get through this a little bit quicker. So I definitely think we can finish this one up. I'll have to use it more to make sure I do use it up, but I definitely think we can finish this before the end of the year. I would be really happy with that. My NYX Brow Glow. This is one that I use every single time I do my brows, and it's really hard to see where it actually is in the bottle, especially when I drop it. But when I measured this morning, it is officially to here, which is really exciting. I don't know if I'll be able to finish this up entirely by the end of the year. This is definitely one I'm not going to have a problem going through, but it might take me a little bit more time to fully use it up. Keep in mind, we started at about here, and this one didn't join the project until maybe halfway through, so I might be able to finish up. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, this is definitely going to be used up at some point. Okay, here's the one that keeps driving me crazy because every time I go to film one of these update videos, I either use this product or I drop it, so you can't actually tell how much I've used. The last update, this was down to about here. I know it's down somewhere in this area when I looked at it yesterday. Unfortunately, I did use it today, so I think this can definitely be used up before the end of the year. I know it's been slowing me down a little bit because I have been testing a lot of new foundations recently, and I do have a new favorite in my collection, so I've definitely been testing a lot more foundations and trying to give them a really fair test, so I tend to reach for them a lot. This is the one I've been going to, and my skin is really acting up the last little bit, so I like to go for this one because it gives so much coverage to the skin, and we need that over here. So this is definitely one we can use up by the end of the year, and the pump is starting to give me a hard time as well. It's getting kind of hard to pump out, so that typically means we're getting a little bit lower on product. This is one I would repurchase, not right away, but this is just such a good foundation. So definitely excited about this progress, just frustrated that it's so hard to tell with the foundation. The next product is my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and for once I made sure to not use this one today, and I didn't even drop it. So you can really tell this is getting really, really low. It's actually showing right about here in photos, but looking into the tube, it's actually quite a bit lower than that. So that makes me really, really happy. Hopefully you'll be able to see that in the photos. I'm kind of excited to move on from this one and use some of the ones that I've been loving a little bit more. So I am excited about the progress we've made on this one. I don't typically go through a ton of concealer, so it's kind of exciting to actually be about to finish one up. A product that I typically report to you guys that I haven't made a ton of progress because I forgot it, actually made some good progress this month. So this is my Lawless Forget the Filler Definer Liner. Look how tiny it's getting. I've been using my guide as the Smooth Glide Ultra Pigmented description, and when I first started with this one, you could still see Smooth Glide. Now the smooth is almost completely gone, and now look how tiny this is. I feel like this is definitely one that I'll be able to finish up. I also do sometimes just use my liner in place of a lipstick, so this one will definitely be finished before the end of the year. I don't know how small it's gonna have to get before I call it, but it's definitely getting close to the end. Alright, another product I feel like we have made really good progress on is my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. I know this is not the most pretty to look at. It's definitely getting old and cracked, but it's not super dry where it just tugs my lids. It's still just fine in that way, so I don't mind. We're getting so much use from this. I'm not 100% sure that I'll actually be able to finish this product before the end of the year, but I do think we're gonna have a really healthy amount used up, and I honestly think if anything, with consistency, if I don't finish it before the end of the year, I feel like I will have it finished before February. So I'm happy with that. I definitely think we will be able to use this up and get it out of my collection before it's fully dried up. The product that I am most is my Clean Fresh powder. I don't feel like I made a ton of progress this month, but I will say over on this side, it was still almost full, if that makes sense. So I've really just had to work on that and getting that used up. And I can see it pulling away from these lines and starting to show these ones. So that tells me that I'm definitely getting very close on this one. I think I can finish this one up before the end of the year. I definitely think I can. My goal is to actually post the Project Pan finale video on New Year's Eve. I think that'd be fun, but I definitely think we can have this used up by the end of the year. I think that's one of my main goals, is to have this one and my MAC Fix Plus and my Catrice foundation used up. So we have 9 products in the project, and I genuinely think I can finish 5 of them before the end. There are some products that we started the year with and we've already used up, but I honestly think I'll be able to use up my CoverGirl powder, my Catrice foundation, my e.l.f. concealer, and my MAC Fix Plus, and I think I can finish my Lawless liner. So I know we're setting some lofty goals, but I definitely think I can get it done. And I hope I can, because it would be nice to be able to use up a lot of product. But that is it for me today. Thank you so very much for watching. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!